Your climbing partners just got stuck when they're seconding the route that you're climbing on. How can you give them a hand? All right, so let's look at the situation here. We're belaying our seconder in guide mode here on the reverso, but any belay plate would do. And we want to give them a hand. So the easiest thing to do is to set up a 3-to-1 pulley. Okay, so we're going to take a look at how we can do that very quickly. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a catastrophe knot or a backup. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little bit of slack and I'm going to tie a figure of 8. And we can pop that on a carabiner somewhere out of the way on our anchor. Make sure that's closed. So now I can take my hands off. Okay, we've got the reverso blocked up. We've got a backup knot. What I'm going to need to do now is get a prusik cord or a prusik loop. Okay, and we're going to do a French prusik in this case, or a machard. Okay. Now we're going to tighten up that carabiner, although it's not really necessary. This isn't part of the safety chain here, so it's not too important. Okay, and now what I can do is I can take my backup knot and I'm going to make sure that if I'm removing the backup knot that I keep the rope or the brake strands in my hand at all times. Okay, I'm going to pass them through this carabiner. You can see it wasn't necessary to actually screw it up, so I'm not actually even going to screw it up this time. Okay, so we're going to push our prusik down as far as we can, and then we can pull upwards on the brake strands here. And we're going to be just assisting our partner here. Now bear in mind, this is a 3-to-1, so we're not going to be able to lift the entire weight of our partner, but we can definitely give them a hand. Every time we give a pull, we're going to need to push our prusik back down, and then we can pull it back up again. Okay, if we want to get a little bit more force, what can we do to turn this into a 5-to-1 system? Really quick and easy. We've got the setup already. Let's just unscrew this. We're going to keep our hands on the brake strand at all times. Okay, if I want to free up my hands, of course I can create a backup knot or a catastrophe knot, but it's not going to be necessary in this case. We're going to take a sling. We're going to girth hitch to a carabiner here, somewhere on our anchor. Okay, and now with this girth hitched, we're going to pass this through the carabiner of our prusik. Okay, and we're going to add another carabiner here. Now all we've got to do is pass our brake strands through this carabiner, and now we've got a 5-to-1 system. Okay, I'm going to need to push this prusik as far down as I can again, and then we can start pulling upwards. Now I've got a 5-to-1 strength ratio in my pulley system.